Second Chronicles 9. And when the queen of Sheba hath heard the fame of Shalomah, she came to proveth Shalomah with hard questions at Jerusalem, with a very great company, and camels that bore spices, and gold in abundance, and precious stones. And when she was come to El Shalomah, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. Shalimah told her all her questions, and there was nothing hid from Shalimah which he told her not. And when the queen of Sheba had seen the wisdom of Shalimah, and the house that he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, his cupbearers also, and their apparel, and his ascent by which he went up into the house of YAHUAH, there was no more ruach in her. And she said to the king, It was a true report which I heard in my own land of your acts and of your wisdom. Howbeit I believed not their words until I came, and my eyes had seen it, and behold, the one half of the greatness of your wisdom was not told me, for you exceed the fame that I heard. Happy are your men, and happy are these your servants, which stand continually before you, and heareth your wisdom. Blessed be YAHUAH Eloheka, which delighted in you to set you on his throne, to be king for YAHUAH Eloheka, because your Elohim loved Yisrael, to establish them forever. Therefore made he you king over them, to do judgment and justice. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices great abundance, and precious stones. Neither was there any such spice as the queen of Sheba gave King Shalimah. And the servants also of Huram, and the servants of Shalimah, which brought gold from Ophir, brought algum trees and precious stones. And the king madeth of the algum trees terraces to the house of YAHUAH, and to the king's palace, and harps and psalteries for singers. And there were none such seen before in the land of Yehudah. And King Shalimah gave to the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, beside that which she had brought unto the king. So she turned and went away to her own land, she and her servants. Now the weight of gold that came to Shalimah in 1 year was 666 talents of gold, beside that which Chapman and merchants brought. And of all the kings of Arab and governors of the country brought gold and silver to Shalimah. And King Shalimah made 200 targets of beaten gold. 600 shekels of beaten gold went to one target. And 300 shields made he of beaten gold. 300 shekels of gold went to one shield. And the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory, and overlaid it with pure gold. And there were 6 steps to the throne, with a footstool of gold, which were fastened to the throne, and stays on each side of the sitting place, and 2 lions standing by the stays. And 12 lions stood there on the one side, and on the other upon the 6 steps. There was not like made in any kingdom. And all the drinking vessels of the king Shalimah were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was not anything accounted of in the days of Shalimah. For the king's ships went to Tarshish with the servants of Culam. Every 3 years once came the ships of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. And King Shalimah passed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. And all the kings of the earth soughteth the presence of Shalimah, to heareth his wisdom that Elohim had put in his heart. And they brought every man his present, vessels of silver, and vessels of gold, and raiment, harness and spices, horses and mules, a rate year by year. And Shalimah had 4,000 stalls for horses and chariots, and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the chariot cities, and with the king at Jerusalem. And he reigned over all the kings, from the river even unto the land of the Palestine, and to the border of Mitzrayim. And the king madeth silver in Jerusalem as stones, and doth cedar trees made he as the sycamore trees that are in the low plains in abundance. And they brought unto Shalimah horses out of Mitzrayim and out of all lands. Now the rest of the acts of Shalimah, first and last, are they not written in the Cepher of Nathan the prophet, and in the prophecy of Achiahu the Shiloni, and in the visions of Iddo the seer against Jerovam the son of Nebat? And Shalimah reigned in Jerusalem over all Yisrael 40 years. And Shalimah slept with his fathers, and he was buried in the city of David his father, and Rehoboam his son reigned in his stead.